All right, so good afternoon, traders. So I have something for you today. I just want to show you something. How is it amazing whenever you are using our strategy? So let me start it with as you are seeing now. I'm opening. This is USDPLN. All right, I just want to show you how many times that I've been trading this one. But I am also need you guys to try to come and trade this pair if you are trading if you're trading exotics. So if you're using LO12, it doesn't matter which pairs I use. You can even trade exotics, major pairs, minor pairs, cryptocurrencies. And when it comes to the cryptocurrencies, like what I said last time, I told you guys, cryptocurrencies, they are always follow exactly what have does. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can also even become and even analyze all the forex market by using LO12. But what we are just saying, what we mean when we are saying a cryptocurrency, they are exactly following LO12. We are just trying to telling you that's how we see most of the times, like 100% when you focus on the cryptos. When you focus on the cryptocurrencies, they actually follow what exactly LO12 does. We don't you don't need to come and adjust like many times like what we are doing most of the pairs, right? But all market, it actually moves what LO12 discovered. So right, so as you are seeing now, I'm just opening. This is USDPLN. So if you are trading exotics and you have a trade, we have a USDPLN on your screen. This is your trade for you, right? So when you analyze our charts, we are not just coming and assuming maybe in 15 minutes or 30 minutes without understanding what is happening on the monthly or what is happening on the weekly. So if you are going to the FX top, you can go and check what sorry, that's where we find the whole data for at least from 1953 up to where we are now. So but as I'm coming to the 1 week, I can see what is really going on the weekly chart, right? So these are, let me just show you something. Let me just take my annotation tool here quickly. Right, so as I check on the 1953, where up to where we are now, we just say we have a trend that it comes down like this. That's how the information that we have on the weekly. So this is what does this mean? Remember last time I showed you guys that when the market moves, it always moves in the three wave moves. So what we mean in the three waves moves, it doesn't matter what kind of decoration that we have or what kind of the sequence that we have, because of why we deal with the structures first. That's the most important thing. So before you even take any trade, you should have to be able to understand what kind of the structure that we have on the screen. So after you understand, okay, of course, yes, this is the structure that I have on the screen. Is this a 3 sequence, or this is a 7 sequence, or this is a 11 sequence? Because of we only have the maximum sequence that we have is 11 sequence, right? So on the 11 swing sequence, I will show you just now what I mean about the 11 sequence. I think I will go on the AUDNZD. I think this is most of the current that it seems is going to give us a Z again. All right, so let me start it on the this pair that I'm just opening now. This is USDPLN. Right, so I just want to show you something here. What we mean always, we are saying market moves in the three wave moves. Right, so as you're seeing here, we have got one here. This is if this is one, and we're going to have a 2 here, and we're going to have a 3 here. But before we have a 3 here, what we're supposed always to be able to understand, okay, of course, last time I think I was showing something like we have got a zigzag, which is something like this, and we also have a expanding flat. Sorry, let me just try to clear this with it. Sorry, let me also try to do it cleanly so that you can even see what I'm trying to explain. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because of why I'm always, this is a zigzag, right? And then we also have a sorry, actually it's not supposed to, it's just supposed to do this and does this, something like here, right? And we also have a triangle. A triangle, it's actually started like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just try to do it in a clean way. A triangle is something like that. This is, it always have to do this. It can have it come and do this, and it can come and do this. This is a triangle. Alright, so if this is a zigzag, if this is a zigzag, this is an expanding flat. Expanding flat, which means to say we have a A and a B and a C, and we also have, this is a running flat. This is a regular flat. It's also A, B, C. So let me just try to do B, C, and this is a triangle 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and the last one is running flat. So a running flat is something like this. It does this most of the time, and it does this, and it come down like this one. So this is actually a running flat. It also have a let me just try to do it in a clean so that you can even see what I try to mean here. So we also have a let me just try to do this so that you can even understand an impulse, and it does this, and most of the time it comes like this, right? So this is a running flat. Let me just try not as avoiding to do a double. Before you understanding a double, you should have to be able to understand the single corrections. ABC, this is a running flat. So if this is a zigzag, if this is an expanding flat, it breaks both this point and this point. A regular flat does not, it just want to break one, it just only break one side, which is this one, just point. And also a triangle, it always, so when it comes to the triangle, there's also a rule of the triangle. I see most of the traders, even AUDNZD, most of the AUDNZDs, they always take triangle not the way that it's supposed to be, but meaning to say we are expecting a three-wave move, a three-wave move, a three-wave move. If we are getting an impulse, for example, we are getting, let me just try to get we're getting this leg as an impulse, and we're getting this as an impulse, and I get this leg as an impulse. It's no longer be a triangle. The reason why, in terms of these three impulse, it's only validated the rules of the triangle. So in a specific structure, like for a specific structure, we always should have to apply the rules of each correction. For example, there's a rule of the zigzag, there's a rule of an expanding flat, there's a rule, this is an expanding flat, expanding flat, this is a irregular flat, and then this is in a triangle, and this is a running flat. So on a specific these structures and in a specific of these corrections, we should have always be able to understanding it and apply the rules of each of the corrections. Right, so let me just clear out, I'm not here to show you the corrections, but I'm just trying to show you this is what one of the corrections that we have in the forex market, which is our 5 correction structure. That's what we have. The last one is an irregular flat, but irregular flat we always even accept when it is there. So I don't want to teach you about the irregular flat. I just want to teach you about these 5 correction structures before I teach you the 6th one. Right, so let's just come to the real chart on the USDPLN. On the USDPLN, what I see on the USDPLN, Like for example, I'm just want to show you. Let me just bring my annotation tool again. All right, so I told you we have got this move that it comes. So when we are looking for the data, we always go to the FX top, and we can all find the data from 1953 up to where we are now. All right, so as I get to the 1953, I can just see, okay, there's a trend that it comes down like this, which is this one. So okay, so but now I'm on the correction. So the most important thing is where you are, right? But you also should have to be able to understand where you are come from, right? So on the USDPLN, let me just try to take the different color. I have this, like, just try to take the blue one. I'm also have this one. 1 2 3. This is what we mean when we are saying market, it moves in 1 2 3. Like we are saying, we have got 1 2 3, and let me just try to take the different color. We also have a 1 2 3. Let me just try to take the different color, the blue one. We also have 1 2 3. Let me just take the green one. We are going to have also this one. So the reason why I'm expecting an ABC here is because of the structure that we have. On the first structure, that okay, so of course I understand we have got this move that I've been taking with the blue, which is fine. There's a move that it actually goes up with the green one. This is the green one, and there's a move that it comes back with the 3-wave move, which is the blue one, and there's a move that it goes back with the which is the red one, and there's a move that is also come back with this blue one. So meaning what I mean here, meaning to say this move is actually this move, and the green one is actually the green one. So market always repeat to do the same thing, as long as we can be able to understand the kind of the correction that we have in the forex market. You never miss, no matter what. So all right, so let me just show you the possibility that we can have. And there's a rule that it says when it comes to the L12, when you analyze your market, you should always have to be 2 alternatives or 3 alternative maximum. It should be 3 alternatives. All right, so I don't have as many alternatives on this pair, because of why seems it's clear for me and even for the next session. All right, so this is the weekly. All right, so on the weekly, first thing on the blue move, let me just try to label the blue move. On the blue move, what we have got W, and we've got X, and we have got Y. On the red one, we also let me just try to take the same color so that we also have this is actually also a W and X and a Y. All right, so what we are getting also on the blue one, because of Y, I showed you, we also have a W, and we also have X. So if let me just try to do it cleanly. W, X, Y. So after it does a 3-wave move, it always telling us it is a continuation pattern to the opposite of the directions. Because of why we are saying that, because of when it gives us a 3-wave move, we should always be able to understand what kind of the correction is. Is it a zigzag, or is it an expanding flat, or is it a regular flat, or is it an triangle, or is it in a running flat? So once we can be able to understand what kind of the correction that we have, because of why the most important things when it comes to the forex market, you should have to be able to understand the structure. The structure is must be important things to understand before even we come to the divergence, or before even we labeling, or before even we project a blue box magic. Because of why once you understanding once you understand the structure and you come and project the blue box magic, it will always be amazing, and you can be able to understand what the way the next move is going to move. All right, so I'm just showing this one. All right, So let's go to the lower time frame. This is a weekly chart, but because of why, the reason why we come to the weekly chart or from monthly or monthly chart or even to 1953 chart is because of why we need to be able to be understand what kind of the structure that we have, at least from 1953 up to where we are. It doesn't matter. You should have you want to trade 15 minutes or you want to trade 30 minutes, or you want to trade 4 hours, or you want to trade 2 hours, or even 1 hour. But on my side, because of why I'm a swing trader, I always take a long-term trades. Right, so let me just show you something now. We should have to be able to go, sorry, I'm supposed to go to the 2 hours or even 1 hour. I don't have time to do the daily, but because of why, the reason why I don't come to the daily, because of the structure is actually clear on the 2 hours or even the 1 hour. It's actually, the structure is clear. So let's just go back to the 1 hour. Let's just open the 1 hour, and I should have to be, I just want to clear this, just take this one out. All right, so okay, let me just actually take this one out before I resume the chat. All right, let me just try to go back to the 2 hours so that it seems, at least there's a clear structure that we can see there. All right, so now we are on this, we are on the 2 hours. On the 2 hours, what we have been seeing now, it is actually, it's really clear. All right, so the first thing that we should have to be able to be understand, on the weekly, we can even see the trend is down. And if the trend is down, meaning to say we should always be able to take a sell. The reason why I'm always not I don't want to trade the opposite of the trend, because of when you're trading the opposite of the trend, there's many possibility that you can be, it can even come and hit your stop loss like many times. That's why the reason why that's the reason why I live to trade the opposite of the trend. So the trend is down, like what we have been focused on the weekly. You can even see on the weekly what kind of the structure that we have. So on the 2 hours, let me just show you something here. We have got this was a 1 here, I know this was a 2 here, and this was a 3 here, and this was a 4. So meaning to say we have got 1 here, and we have got 2, and we have got 3 here, and we've got 4 here. So we should have to come to the 5 wave move. All right, sorry, let me just try to do this. We should have to come to the 5 wave move. This is 3, and this is 4, and this is 2. Let me just try to do it in a clean way. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so for those that also trade the exotic, because of on my side, I trade all the pairs in the forex market, whatever it can be, commodities, or it can be cryptocurrencies, it can be forex market. I can be able to understand, because of why all of those 3 things, they actually exactly follow what Elliott wave does. All right, so this is what we should have to take a trade now, and let me just try to take the different color. Let me just try to take the green. So it pushes down here. Let me just, it pushes down here with an impulse. It actually pushes down here with an impulse, and now we are on the correction. So in this correction, I'm expecting at least to give me an ABC before it comes to the wave 3, and also wave 4, and it should have to come wave 5 before it gives us A, B. So this ABC, of course, yes, so of course we can assuming A, B, and a C. We can assume it to be a zigzag, but doesn't matter. It can be even an expanding flat. What we mean, if it does an expanding flat, let me just show you here. If it does an expanding flat, it comes with a 5 wave move here. It can be does this, even does this, and comes and does this before it goes all the way to the downside, because of why the trend is down. So the next trade on our side, because of why the first trade that we should have to take now is here. This is the first trade that we should have to take to all the way to wave 3. When it comes to the wave 3, we should have to be exit and wait also the wave 4 to develop. After wave 4, we should also be able to trade the wave 5. So that's how we trade. Then the next thing after we get in wave 5, it gives us a clear entry. We should have to take it all the way. Maybe it can be let me just try to do it in a different color. So the reason why I'm trying to, all right, for example, it comes to the 5 wave, it should have to give us a correction. So we always should have to be able to understand, and it does this and does this, meaning to say we are going to have a 1, and we're going to have a 2, and we're going to have a 3, and we're going to have a 4, and we're going to have a 5, and then it is supposed to move like this. So when it moves in a correction here, I'm not always involved myself. What we should have to do for the next session, I think this is, we can focus. It can be on December when you develop this correction, doesn't matter when in January or February, which is fine. So what should have to, it can be a zigzag or it can be an expanding flat. The next move that I need is this one. This is the green one. This is what I need. So if it's going to give me something like this, and does this and pushes like this, which is the green one, so meaning to say I'm going to have an ABC or a WXY, it doesn't matter. No matter what is going to go, it can give us a zigzag, or it can give us an expanding flat, or even a running flat, which is fine. So the next trade that I should have to take now, and I also need, guys, if you are trading if you're trading exotic pairs, this is your trade for this is the trade for you. What you should have to wait for the so far, it seems that started to do that's this here. So it can even give us a wave 1 of an expanding flat or a running flat or zigzag. It should have to come all the way to wave 3, and they should have to pull back and even come back to finish 3. So meaning to say we are having a 1 here, we are going to have a 2 here, and we're going to have a 3, and we are going to have a 4, and then we're going to have a 5. So if you always be able to understand where the next move it should have to taking you, of course we can even find out if let me just try to take the green color here. You can even see this wave 3 is going to be, even if this is more than 1,000 pips to the ups to the downside. So this is actually a very nice trade even to take this weekend. We can take this trade this week, even tomorrow, or even on Friday, or even on Monday. I'm just expecting to take this trade. I think for the next trade, just give us a time to be confirming, and then we should have to take in, I think in 3 days time we should have to be able to take this trade. All right, so the most challenging things, well, of course, yes, UAB have been focusing like this one, but in what most people does, and what most people they don't have divergence, and they don't know how to use divergence. So if you can be able to use divergence, let me just try to bring the divergence on the screen so that you can even see what I'm trying to explain here. Just try to bring the divergence. Right, so this is what we call divergence. We call this divergence. Right, so if you are understanding how divergence is supposed to be work, that's how we are going to take this trade with 100% confidence. 100% confident all the way to the downside. Right, so let me just take this divergence out, because of why it's also very important things to understand how divergence works. As many people, like I've been showing you guys, many people, they think maybe when it does this, they say it's overbought, but you can only find out, okay, of course, if this is overbought and you try to buy here, but guess what is going to happen here? Let me just show you something here. What is going to happen here, if this is overbought and you try to take it expecting this is overbought, this is actually overbought, is what you should have to take. It's just going to give you this one, and if you find line, you just can, maybe you're going to buy here, or you're going to even buy here. I don't know how you're going to buy, but actually many trade, they're going to say, okay, this is overbought, okay, let's just buy. I'll show you here, even here I will show you on here. I will show you what I mean here. So right, when you try to buy here, because of the trend is down, meaning to say it should always go, it should have to come down here, and you always be surprised yourself. Okay, of course I learning support and resistance, or supply and demand, or the head and shoulder. Why it does not happen in the exactly the way that the problem is not yours. The problem is because of the strategy that you are using. It does not work, and it does not you always apply the wrong way. That's why the reason why you can find out when you does your things, it can even come as many times. It comes and take your stop loss and hit your stop loss, and you never know now what kind of the day, what is the next direction for this pay. And that's how many trades they went up giving up. Right, so I don't think I'm just here for you today. Let me just clear this everything here and take this one out, and let me just take the divergence out as well. All right. Okay, so this is the trade for you guys. What you should have to do next week, you should have to be able to, sorry, even tomorrow or even after tomorrow, this is it should have to be confirmed on our side. Because of why? The first thing that we deal with the structures, and the next thing we can even use, we use a Fibonacci retracement, and the next thing we use a divergence. So when all those three things confirms, there's nothing for us to, there's nothing that we can be waiting for. What we should have to do is just to take the trade for the next direction, and that's how we always be able to hold 1,000 pips or 500 pips or 200 pips or even 100 pips. But 100 pips, I think for those people that they trade price action, it's a lot. Because of why? Most people that they trade price action, maximum they always be able to targeting 30 pips and 20 pips, 10 pips. But that's not part of the trading. If you be able to be, if you understanding one kind of the structure that we have on the forex market, you should have to be able to at least to trade more than 50 pips. All right, so like what I said, I'm just here for the divergence. Let me just try to bring the screen so that you can even see. Let me just try to squeeze a bit so that you can even see what we mean here. So what we mean here, let me just try to go back to the 1 hour so that you can even see. Let me just try to go to 30 minutes. Because of why? I need to understand. I just want to show you one of the possibilities that we are going to have on this one. All right, so on this pair, this is USDPLN. On the USDPLN, what I actually see here, I'm just seeing this. If this is a 1, 2, 3 here, and if this is going to give us a 1, 2, even come back like this, and it does this, right? After it does this, now this is how we are going to take all the way to the downside. Because of why? The first thing is a structure, and the second thing is we can measure using Fibonacci. And let me just try to show you something that we can even use here. For example, we can come and click the Fibonacci here. Let me just take this one out. This is Fibonacci. All right, so I'm going to dust this and drop here. So exactly, this is 1,618. He said there's a possibility that it can even reverse on the 1,618. Let me just try to bring my annotation 2 on the screen. All right, on the screen, let me just try to use the different color. All right, so there's a possibility that it can even come in and reverse on the blue box magic. So let me just take the blue color. It can even come and reverse on the blue box magic, which is 1,1236, or it can even come in reverse on the 1,618. So if it comes on the blue box, for example, it comes like this. Let me just try to clear everything here so that you can even see what I'm trying to explain here. Right, for example, it pushes down like this, and it comes to the blue box magic. What we should have to take with him and take on the blue box magic all the way to the downside, where we have to put our stop loss. We should have to put our stop loss on above this. Sorry, let me just do this. We should have to put our stop loss here, and that's how we can take it from here all the way to the downside. We are targeting 1000 pips to the downside. So this is clear structure according to my strategy and according to what I have been learned. All right, so the lastly, let me just try do the USDNZD. There's a two alternatives on the USDD. So this one I have two alternatives, and what happened here, it's actually playing amazing according to the way that I learned. All right, so on the USDNZD, let me just try to, all right, so the first thing that we have got this, which is W, and we also have this. Let me just try to use the different color. Let me just try to use the yellow one so you can even see. We also have this, sorry, we also have 1 3. This is, if this is X, we also have 1 2. Okay, let me just repeat the same color, which is the blue one. If this is X, and we also have 1 2 3, and this is Y, and we also have 1 2 3 here. If this is X, and we are going to also have a 1 2 3, which is going to be a Z. So after the Z, it should have to go resuming higher, like what I've been focusing, I think, for the 3 weeks back or 2 weeks back, but which is fine. So let me just try to go back to the 1 hour. So there's always two ways that we can label a 11 swing sequence. A 11 swing sequence is either it can be a corrections or it can be an impulse. All right, so let me just show you the one of the alternatives. Sorry, the one of the way that we can focusing 11 sequence on the impulse, because of this is actually there's a two. Just clear everything here. First thing, what we have this one, and we have this one, and we also have this one, and we also have this one, and we should have to have this one. So this is an impulse. This is actually, let me just try to take the different color. This is actually W, X, Y, X, Z, and then this is a correction. So I'm expecting this one before we should have to go back to the upside. So you can finally, this is up. This move is going to be down here, and when it comes down here, you can not even be able to take. You are not even going to take even. You are not even going to have even as 10 pips. The reason why you are not even going to catch it 10 pips, because of why you don't have a strategy how to take the trades, how to take the trades, and what kind of the trade that is confirming. So once it confirms on our side, we don't have a pressure. What should have to be able, where I'm just waiting for this on ZA, is not yet confirming to the downside, but once it confirms to the downside, I'm going to take it to the downside and trade the Z. After trading the Z, I should have to be able, after trading the Z, it's going to be like this. I should have to be able to trade this one. So you can finally, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, but you're not even going to get even a single pip on this one, because of why you are not be able to understand the structures, and you are not be even able to understand one kind of the structure that we have, and you're not even able to understand what kind what we use when we are taking the trade. We are not just assuming to have, because of okay, you should have to go all the way to the upside. No, what you should have to come and do, we should have to be able to have a clear confirmation to the upside. That's how we are going to take this move all the way. You can even find out this is going to be a 300 pips or 400 pips, because of this is USDNZD. USDNZD, it does not pay that much, but guess what, as long as you can be able to understand the structures, you can even able to come and analyze 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, weekly, daily, monthly, from 1953. So that's how we did, like, as many times, and that's what I'm always teaching my students. Right, so that's all for today, guys. I will see you next time when I'm doing the analysis. So what you should have to do, don't forget to subscribe, so that next time when I post the videos to the YouTube, you can be able to, it can be able to appear on your side, on your YouTube, or yeah. So that's what we can do, like, many times, because of why every single Sundays I have got a weekly webinars and that I can do to analyze all the pairs on the market, from Bitcoins up to the last one. So but what I don't do on the Sundays, I'm not analyze the exotic pairs. So this is the trade for you guys. I'm just showing you the trade that I did on the USDPLN is one of the best trade to take into the all the way to the downside, and what you should have to be able to target, should have to be able to target 1,000 pips to the downside. All right, so if you are happy with what I did, you can even inbox you can inbox me, and then we can even talk how you can learn. I can send you the course condensed, what kind of the course contains, what you're going to learn about, because of it's just not it's not always about the Elo12. It's always about, we have got I think it's about, we have first thing that we have got, we should have to be able to understand the golden spiral, how that market moves, and you should have to be able to understand the market. Forex market does not move randomly. And the next thing, you should have to be able to understand how to project, how to use a Fibonacci theory, and you should have to be able to understand how Elo12 theory moves, and you should have to be able, lastly, you should have to be divergence. So we have got so many things that we are including in Elo12 theory, so that we should have to be able to avoid unnecessary losses. All right, so anyway, thanks guys. This is for you, and I will see you on Sunday when I'm going to do all the pairs from Bitcoins, lastly to the cross pairs. Right, so bye.